Hello. Welcome to the first Fill in the Blank podcast.
The inaugural podcast.
The inaugural 001.
Is that how we're numbering it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's what you do.
All right.
And this one, there's no name. It's 001.
Okay. I know on TV do 101.
A 101.
Because it's the first season of the
Oh,
podcast.
true. We could do it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we'll do.
All right. Well, you'll find out next time if it's 102.
That's right. So, Fill in the Blank podcast, life after film school. Why is it called that?
Because we're living life. And we both went to film school. So, I mean, that's basically just the basic premise of it. I don't know. I think the point of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to kind of share our bumbling insights into what to do, provided that you're not, in a 3-picture deal at Paramount, because you don't need our advice if you're doing that.
That is correct. And I guess first thing we should do is introduce ourselves.
Oh!
My name's, yeah.
Yeah.
And a little bit of background so people know what's going on. So my name's Greg, and
I'm Austin.
And he's Austin.
Yeah.
And we both work freelance.
Yes.
In the industry in various capacities.
Yes. Both in terms on the video production side, as well as I personally work for a local theater. I do lighting, I do stage managing, directing, acting, all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, and we do camera work, we do editing, we do producing, and that could be anything from the live streaming, TV, a lot of stuff that's live to tape, where it's recorded live, but then we go back and fix it.
Right. I have to say, this part's a little bit awkward because we're not talking with each other, actually. We're talking with you, which is going to be a rare occurrence, I think. I think probably. Yeah. I mean, well, obviously, we want to talk to you, too.
But well, it's for you.
It's for you, but hopefully we can capture some of the fun of us. Further on the whole videography thing, we work with both, let's just say, a more bureaucratic style of filmmaking, official videos, like for example, but not necessarily, shooting in classrooms and things like that. But we also work for a entertainment company which shall not be named. Yeah, so we're all over the map. Yeah. The one thing we're not doing is narrative filmmaking. Which is the one thing that we want to be doing. I think everyone's goal in film school. Yes. And but I don't think that's bad. We'll get to that. That's going to be our kind of top. So let's kind of run down. Today what we're going to do is we're going to tell you what this podcast is, what we hope it's going to be, why you should listen, why you should not listen, things of that nature. Although you should listen. Yeah, there's no reason not to listen that I can think of. And then our topic of the week is going to be jobs. Basically, it's going to be pretty broad because I have a feeling that in future podcasts it's going to go into some detail. Right, it's going to be more specific, but we want to give you a feeling. Yeah, so it's going to be about working after film school, and does film school prepare you for the work? Right, should you even go to film school? Should you even go? I say no. And then we're going to do a special deal this week because Oscars are probably, when you're listening to this, the coming up weekend. Right. So we're going to do our picks. We're going to pick them right here on the podcast. I have not really taken a good look at them. Me neither. I mean, I know what they are, but I haven't decided in my head what the pick is. So and I have some thoughts about some of these picks. And then we've got some movie trailer reviews. That is true. And then we'll talk about what you can expect next week. Yeah. So, okay, so let's run through just a little bit of why did you want to do the podcast? The reason that I wanted to do a podcast is mostly, I would have to say, vanity. I want people to listen to me and hear what I have to say. No, I don't know. And maybe I'm wrong about this. I did not feel like there was a lot of the way I view things after film school out there. And even when you're in film school, I feel like they don't really tell you a lot of... there's a certain idea of what is success and what is failure. And keeping in mind that I feel like both currently in my life, both a success and a failure. But I never felt like I really got the way I'm feeling now
either in film school or before film school or after film school. I'm not hearing people talk about it. It's either you're successful because you're Steven Spielberg, or nobody's ever heard of you, and therefore you're nobody.
Yeah.
And while I might agree that we are nobody, I do not feel that our point of view is invalid.
No.
That's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and I guess my thing is like I have a lot of opinions.
That is true.
And
you do have a lot of opinions.
I think people who know me know that. Not all of them are in fact valid opinions.
No, but that's fine. You can go ahead and share your opinions, and I will rebut them as I see fit.
And also, I think that it's just it's not so much like I don't want people out there to think that these guys like think that they know better or know anything. We don't know.
That's not true
we don't know anything.
We don't know jack.
It's just that we have these conversations a lot and thought that we listen to podcasts as well, so we thought, hey, this might be a valid
and helpful
place to put this.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to address up at the front here is our YouTube subscribers.
Ah, yes.
Because that's probably who's most likely to listen to this first when we
Right.
post it on YouTube, because they're going to get an email saying, hey, they posted a new video, and all these people are going to go, holy crap, there has not been a new video from them in literally years.
Right. So, YouTube subscribers, thank you. We're excited.
If you're listening, thank
here.
you for listening. And if you continue to listen, thank you even more.
Right. If you're a YouTube subscriber, there is a very good chance that you are a fan, or at least have seen
that's mostly
our Tex and Diego series.
That's most of our subscribers, I have to believe. I'm
going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say, and this is just my opinion, always keep in mind that these are our opinions. They are not statements of fact necessarily.
Yes.
The best, most epic Lego movies ever made.
I think so. And there was God, I wish I could remember that YouTube comment that was one of my favorite comments ever, where it was like, I think these are the greatest. It was like some way of saying that this is defaulted to the greatest Lego video on the internet.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with that.
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you agree with it, right?
I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know. I would. I do.
Yeah. So you people from YouTube,
let's not say you people.
Let's not say you people?
No.
That's probably...
Yeah, it's probably a wise choice.
Everyone who's listening from being linked as a subscriber, and
yes, everybody who enjoys Tex
you managed to get past the part where it wasn't a video about Legos and it was a podcast by us who you don't know, and we haven't been the best community people on YouTube, mostly because we just put those videos up years ago and then have come to realize, hey, those things have tens of thousands of hits, and people are big fans and ask. And I've from time to time gone on there and answered questions about some technical stuff. And our topic of the week for next week is going to be stop motion.
Oh yeah, we're going to
talk about Legos, and
just to keep you around, just to show you that this is worthwhile.
And so at the end of the show, we're going to give out ways to contact us. And so, if you have specific questions, definitely hit us up, and we'll do that next week. So thank you for listening, and if you enjoy this at the end of the show, definitely tell anyone you think might enjoy this, or just anyone. Just tell your dog.
Or tweet it. Just say, hey, I listened to this today. It's one of those properties where you tell one person, they tell one person, and it grows. I didn't explain that right.
And I think it's fair, because a lot of the people who are making Lego videos on the internet, or most of these people who are enjoying them are also wanting to make them or making them themselves.
Ostensibly, yes.
And so, to me, that means you're thinking about filmmaking or wanting to do that. Or either you're done with film school and you're just doing Lego movies, you're in film school, you're in high school, you're in 8th grade, whatever.
Plus, I have to believe that if you enjoyed our Lego movies, they were so full of homages. We'll call it homages.
True. Yeah.
Instead of
ripping it off
movies. That chances are you know something about movies, you care about movies, you like movies. And that's, at its core, I think, what we're really all about here.
Yeah. And then I think, so let's talk a little bit about like what our plan is with this podcast. What are we thinking?
Do we have a plan?
I think we have a semblance of a plan. I don't think it's maybe exact, but I think we have an idea.
All right. Let's share it then. We're going to share it.
Oh, and by the way, in the future, plan on hearing some fun jingles
or
songs for our segment.
We have a whole department here that is working on jingles. By department, I mean
it's you.
Me.
It's you.
It's me. Yeah.
But But we may be singing them
well, we
for
will
your
be
pleasure.
singing them.
Oh, okay, that's confirmed.
That is confirmed.
Okay.
I'm just getting word from our music department that yes, that's what's probably happening.
And so the way that we see these going off and having a life of their own is, I think for the starters, we're going to try and do one every other week, so it's 2 a month.
Yeah.
And then hopefully,
unless you demand more, people.
If you demand more, we'd love to do more, but it's kind of a matter of, hey, how do you get a podcast to be listened to in the first place? That's really the tough thing. And you know what? If we can get a small group of people who are interested in what we have to say and listening, then I'm all about helping that, supporting a community.
And being able to do more live streaming stuff and answering your questions.
Yeah, we want to. We want to kick it into a once a week. Add some video elements, obviously, since we do.
All right. So let's talk about some of our structure here.
Okay.
Because I don't, I want people to stay with us.
Yes. Good point. Yeah. If
you're still with us, thank you.
Yes. So basically, it's going to be we're going to have our little chatter, talk about what's going on, and then we're going to go into our topic of the week.
Right. And in our opening chatter, we may talk about anything. It won't necessarily be film related. Like I might talk about how much I enjoy watching old people eat.
Yeah.
Because it's like their whole world. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Like go to In-N-Out.
Or Denny's.
Yeah. And it's everything to them. Mm-hmm. It's they sit there with their fork and they watch the bite all the way into their mouth, and they chew it I think it's because they never know when it's the last time.
It could be the last bite. Every
bite could be the last bite because it gets more and more pronounced the older you get, and they all almost get that little fleck of food right on the side of their mouth. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I find that very endearing. I could watch old people eat all day long.
Well, and sometimes it takes all day long.
That is true. Sometimes it does take all day long. But you know what? They don't take it for granted. Me, I shove a taco in my mouth and I'm about my business.
I don't even like food. Like to me, half the time I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm hungry right now. I wish I could just not be hungry and move on with my day.
It's an inconvenience. It's kind of like sleep.
Yeah.
If I never had to sleep, I would be a lot happier.
Yeah.
But I do.
You do have to.
I hate it.
And eating too. And
it's a waste of time.
I don't want to figure out what I want to eat right now.
And it's the same question every single night. Didn't I just do this last night?
Yeah, and you did.
I did.
The answer is you did.
And I have to do it again now. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we'll have little conversations like that, or one about high-heeled sneakers, which I'll get into later. Yeah. I don't understand that concept at all.
And then we're going to have our topic of the week, which will be film school, filmmaking related.
Right, or life after film
school. And it's just mostly life after. And it's just going to be our thoughts about it, and take that for what you want to take it as. And if you haven't gone through it, then maybe it's a valuable opinion from some people.
If you're considering going to film school, it's a valuable opinion. If you've been through film school, you might relate to what we have to say, or you might be someone that we're talking about.
Oh, true.
In which case, you need to listen up.
Yeah.
Because you're a bastard.
That's right.
And we will be naming archetypes. Not names, but archetypes.
No, not names. And then we plan on having some like fun little 5-minute segments that'll either be movie reviews that we saw recently, what we think about it, movie trailer reviews, which you'll get a taste of today.
Right.
Which is purely for entertainment value.
Yeah, it's pure speculation. Absolutely. We just watch a movie trailer and we judge the entire movie based on the movie trailer. Mm-hmm. Which I think is valid, because isn't that why they give
That's why it's there.
That's right. They want us to judge it right now and decide whether or not to spend $400 to see it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to spend that much.
Well,
I'll spend like 7, maybe 10 if it's at night.
Well, yeah, you know.
Okay.
But movie theaters are just more expensive. It was a bit of a hyperbole.
Okay. And then we are going to have, potentially we'll open it up for reviewing anything, really.
Oh, so yeah.
If one of us read a book, if one of us saw a TV show.
Right.
Anything could be reviewed and discussed.
Anyone could be reviewed.
Any person could be reviewed.
Yeah.
Could do a review of the president.
We could.
Yeah. I'm going to do probably from time to time some tech-type segments, because I tend to be a little bit more into the equipment and the software involved. So like Final Cut Pro, which version, there's a new version, cameras, mics.
Which is not to say that I won't chime in.
He knows.
I know, but I don't know as well as him.
Yeah.
And sometimes my frustrations are a little bit out of left field.
And then we'll create some more segments as we go here. And,
sure.
And if you guys have suggestions,
for segments.
Oh, we love that.
We love that. So comment on the video or send us some info.
Having come from more the theatrical side, the acting side, what I like to call the talent side. Because, you know, really that's...
And that's really the value I think that we bring.
Yeah.
If I could be a little bit bold. Is that...
It wasn't very bold, but...
Okay.
No, I think that's a fair thing. I don't know that's a bold thing.
Okay.
A bold thing would be to say something like, I am the best at something.
Okay. I'm the best at picking my nose.
I believe that.
That was bold.
That was bold.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want everybody to know that.
No, I'm saying it was bold because maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Okay.
Please send in YouTube videos about this. Go ahead. Videotape yourself picking your nose, and we will be the final judges.
Judge. I don't know if I want to see that. Do I really want to see a bunch of people picking their nose?
Depends on what they send in.
What do you mean? It's going to be someone picking their nose no matter what.
I know, but some people might blow your mind.
With the way they pick?
Or blow their own mind if they pick too hard.
Don't hurt yourself.
Or do. I don't care. I just want you to know that. If you hurt yourself picking your nose, shame on you.
That's true.
Shame on you.
It's true.
So, either way. So I may have a segment in terms of from the talent side, talking about actors. The one thing you won't hear from me is celebrity gossip.
No.
Question, Greg.
Okay.
If I say a bad word, will we bleep it?
I think.
Do we have a bleep?
I think we're gonna bleep it in post. Wouldn't it be great if I had a live bleep though? I should work on that.
Well, we'll work on that. This is only 001.
This is 001.
And we are 101.
And we are trying to record it live to minimize the post work. And we work in live a lot, and I like it.
All right, but you can bleep it in post?
We'll bleep it in post for now if you feel the need.
I right now?
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
In terms of celebrity gossip, I hate that.
Okay.
Okay? As well as... Oh, I see you wrote a note.
I wrote a note.
As to where that showed up.
Where that was.
Get ready to write another one.
Okay.
Reality TV taking over scripted TV.
Yeah.
I hate that too.
Okay.
All right. Those are just two things. We will talk more in depth about both of these topics.
Yeah, I don't necessarily...
Maybe not today, but at a later date.
Yeah.
Either way, I needed to say that I finally have a platform, and there it is.
There it was. Now people know.
Yes. You can bleep that?
I can bleep that.
You're going to? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so, and if you hear papers and stuff, that's because we're sitting at a table, and there's papers and stuff. There's some right there. And if you hear traffic, that's also because there's a street outside the window.
Deal with it.
You have to deal with it.
Just deal with it.
Okay. All right, so why don't we get into our topic of the week? Have we covered what we need to cover here?
I think we have.
Do we give our information about what the podcast is going to be, what it's for? I guess what it's for, I guess it's for your entertainment.
It is for your entertainment.
And if you learn a little something, then cool, but I don't preach to be anyone who has something to teach to anyone.
I'm just hoping that it's something that either you can relate to or you can relate to.
Yeah, and if you know someone in film school, tell them about it.
Oh, yeah.
I think they will definitely relate to it.
Yeah.
Especially when we start talking about our topic.
Yeah. And if you haven't been to film school, hopefully it's something that can give you a little insight into really what film school is like. Yeah. It's not the imaginary place that you imagine.
No.
Where, you come out as the new Steven Spielberg. Even Steven Spielberg did not come out of film school as the new Steven Spielberg.
No, he was the original.
Yeah.
He came out as the original.
Well, no, do you understand my point?
I do.
Okay, because I don't want to have to slap you on a podcast.
No, that would be pretty funny.
Yes, it would.
Okay.
Yes, it would.
Okay, so this would be where we would play our little song in future episodes.
In future, right.
You're gonna have the topic of the day.
Oh, that's not
filling in the
I
blank.
want to go ahead and make a disclaimer that this is not officially.
What if? But now there might be. See, I did that because there might be an outcrying that needs to be the song.
Can you do it again?
I can do that on command.
Go for it.
No, I'm not going to now.
All right, I was gonna try to add to it.
Okay. So our topic of the day is, I think it's mostly kind of the angle that I'm taking on jobs after film school is,
are you working?
Well, are you working? What does that mean? And then also, I think that maybe towards the end we should get into, did film school prepare you at all?
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Are you working?
Yes.
Not at a bank.
Correct.
Not at Target.
Retail.
Or any store of that nature.
No.
Not that Target's a bad place to work. I hear it's fantastic.
But that doesn't mean you have to be working for NBC.
Correct. Are you, basically what we're going for here is, are you using the skills
that you learned that you mastered?
And are you happy with where you are? Because I do think that's an important part of it too.
That's a value.
Because that is how we get to where I feel like both a success and a failure.
Yes.
Fair enough?
I think so.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say that if you're out of film school and you have any sort of, I would have to say that even if you have a part-time job somewhere else, and then you have another part-time job doing something involving video, film, whatever, sound, editing, anything, then I would have to say that at least you should feel good about that. Because I would have to say that of the people that were in my circle in film school that I graduated with, I think that I can count on one hand the number of people who are...
Sure, and do you want to tell people where you went to film school?
I went to Chapman University, and we're based in Southern California over here. This is true. Obviously. Yes. Shocker, film industry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I went to Loyola Marymount University up in Los Angeles, and I ostensibly majored in both film and theater.
Yeah. And so, so we have...
So we did, in fact, attend the schools that we're talking about.
Correct.
The type of school that we're discussing here. So we're judging success, if I understand you correctly, as you are doing something that is making you money.
Yep.
That is related to what you studied
in college. In film school specifically.
Right.
Yes, I think that's all. I think that's all it really needs to be, because I think that people, including you and I, right out of film school, put so much pressure on yourself to be making an independent film or be working at an edit house in Hollywood or whatever it is. That those opportunities are so few and far between, and that world is so locked up.
Yes.
That right out of film school, it's almost impossible. You have to find the in.
Agreed.
And and for me, I was doing a part-time retail, part-time something involving, I was doing editing and stuff like that. And so,
I'm going to count it. I'm going to count it as a success within the following confines, because some people may go straight out of film school and into those things.
Good for them.
And either by hook or by crook, you know, it could be that you know somebody, it could be that you just lightning struck. And, and if that's the case, good for you. I count it as a success in the following thing. I chose to become a film major, a theater major, to study these things, because I knew with a certainty that to sit in an office or a cubicle and do work all day long was a path. I'm not going to say to suicide, because...
No, it's just not for you.
Yeah, because I don't believe in suicide. But, I mean, I believe in it. It happens. I just don't believe it for myself.
You don't even believe it happens.
But I just knew I couldn't do that. I would never be happy doing that. And beyond being happy, within the confines of my personality, I'm not good at that. I'm really not. And that's both, you know, good, because it forced me to develop creatively, but negative because I can't sit down and do work like a normal human being for a few hours? Apparently I can't.
Apparently you found out no.
Oh yeah. So shame on me.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, you can deem what I'm doing now as a success, because I don't have to do that. I get to go out and do cool stuff, you know, even within a very modest framework.
Yeah, and I think that framework that you're calling it modest, that's you putting that on that, and I put that on it too.
True.
But it doesn't have to be.
True, it doesn't have to be.
Because there's a ton of people who would be envious of
what we do,
or what you do, or what I do on the side, because they can't find it. No,
that is true. When I tell people what I do, like suppose I go to a family reunion or I visit with people, and they say, so what is your job? And I say, oh, I shoot video, I'm in the media department for blah blah blah, or I shoot sporting events for blah blah blah, or whatever. To them, they're like, oh, well, that's something. Now the flip side of this, failure.
Okay.
I do not like what I do.
Wanted to see where you were going to go with that.
No, I'm just going to be brutally honest here. I mean, I enjoy it. I don't mean to sound like completely ungrateful for the opportunities that I've had, but it's not where I want to stop. You know, I think that's all.
And that's fine, because that's just ambition, and I think everybody has that.
Sure.
And it stops at different places for certain people. And like for me, like
I've gotten past, and by the way, just so if you're listening, we're 8-9 years out of college. Are we? How far are we out of college? 5?
2005.
2005 we
7
graduated.
years.
7 years out of college.
Is that math?
I'm horrible at math, so.
Okay, it's actually 8 years.
Is it? I was right.
Now it's 2013.
Oh, okay.
So this spring it'll be 8
So
years.
we're 8 years out. So we're a good ways away.
Yeah, and we did not get to where we are now overnight.
Nope, it's taken this long to get here, and I wouldn't. And there's plenty of people who are way beyond us.
Yeah, but I will say
who are younger than us and
if you were to
older than
draw a graph of all the people we went to school with, there's 5% who are way beyond us.
Yeah.
And 90%
who are well, I would say
who are out of the game completely.
Yeah, really, there is.
So, like I said, in that framework,
yeah,
success.
Yeah.
In my personal framework, my internal spiritual framework,
we're getting there.
Getting there. But so far a failure because the reason I wanted...
like that you have a black and white. It's either I'm not there yet, so I'm still a failure.
Correct, right.
Okay.
I need that to keep me motivated.
Okay.
I don't want to... I need that for motivation. The reason I say failure is because the reason I came into this, the reason I started this...
Right.
I'm trying to give, valid reasons for this, not just my emotions. Mm-hmm. I started down this path because I view myself, however pretentiously, as a storyteller.
Right.
I enjoy telling people stories. Do I care if they change your life? No. If they do change your life, A, good for you.
Yeah.
B,
good for you.
Good for me. Yes. But I enjoy...
Entertaining.
Yeah, I enjoy being entertaining. I enjoy telling people stories. And by that framework, I am not doing that.
Okay.
I'm not really telling stories.
Correct. You're entertaining in a certain sense.
In a certain sense.
Are you telling a story to do it? No, not really.
No, not really.
Yeah.
The closest I get is probably at the local playhouse.
Yeah.
But I'm not always excited by the quality of productions that come up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the local theater. So,
which we'll talk about later. In the closing,
and let me talk about this right now because it's interesting. Because I was meaning to talk to you about this anyways, and then I was like, well, I'll just save it and talk to him on the podcast.
Sure. Let's do it.
I went and saw 2 weekends ago at the Old Globe in San Diego. Mm-hmm. They were doing Pygmalion with Robert Sean Leonard.
Oh.
He's from House, and he was in the Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
And and I was like, I had been, everybody goes to musicals and stuff, and that's mostly what the big moneymaker and the big show in town.
That's what they try to tell you.
Pantages or whatever is a musical, and I haven't been to a actual just straight up play in a long time, and it was really enjoyable and really well acted, which was the other thing because I know that you're always talking about what's going on at the local playhouse,
right? And
I've seen some local theater and stuff, and you're like, yeah, that was fine. Like even if I would have to say good local theater. If you've seen real theater, you're like, yeah, that was fine.
Right.
And then you go see a real theater show that's either a major production on a main stage, and you're like, oh wow, like
never mind.
The sets, the acting level is just beyond anything.
Right.
And so I was really impressed and really happy to have seen that because it's been a while, and it was really good. And he was good, and this woman who played Eliza Doolittle was really good, and he was the only name in there. Everybody else.
Yeah,
was,
but
these are
and
a lot of these people are perennial theater actors, and you need to go to the bigger theaters.
It sounds
like
it was good.
It was good.
I'm a big fan of the play to begin with.
Yeah, it's a good play.
This brings me, I guess, to our first, what I guess I would call my advice to you.
Okay.
My advice to you.
Is it to me or to the listeners?
Well, it's to both of you. I'm not going to say that.
No, not always.
Not always.
This specific one is for me as well.
Is for you as well.
Okay.
Just knowing where you are in your life.
Okay.
Okay. The key to being happy in your job, as far as I see it, always try to find a way to work with people who are better than you.
Okay.
Because one of the chief frustrations that I have had in the past, even in certain things that I work in right now, is finding myself in a place where I realize I know more than everybody else around here.
Yep.
And it, unfortunately, not being even close to an egotistical statement.
That's really the sad thing, because it does, that whole thing that you presented, if you don't know him, could have come across as though, hey, I'm going to tell you what to do. Yeah. It's not what it was at all.
No.
He happens to be correct, and advice is advice, which means it's up to you whether you even care about his opinion or my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, if you're listening to this, then
well, I don't know. I don't know where that sentence was going. I don't know if you should care if you listen. Just listen to it.
Just listen to it. Think about it.
Or don't. I don't care. Just listen to it and be entertained. That's what I want.
Sure. Follow my advice. Do what I say. Okay? I promise you.
But you're correct.
You won't be sad.
I think you're right, that if you can put yourself in a position to be, really all you should do for every job you get is you're always going to start at the bottom.
Yeah.
And you should work your way to the top. And I don't know, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're now the boss. That means that you've now either gained the knowledge that everyone else has or moved past them, and then it's time to either find something else or become the boss. One or the other, right?
I suppose so. Well, see, I feel like if you're always striving to work with people who are better than you, then you're never not being challenged.
Yeah.
So you're always growing. You're always learning new things, which is in life. I don't care what you're doing.
Rule.
Right. I don't care what you're doing. You should wake up every day and try to learn something, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That sounded really preachy, but you know what I mean. Number two, if you're always being challenged, you're always working with people who are better than you, then you'll never fall into, I believe it's called the Peters Principle, which is,
know about this.
You rise to the level of your incompetency, and there you stop. You see this a lot in, well, quite frankly, in certain corporate sectors and certain government sectors. People continue to rise up the ladder of success until they reach a position that they are completely incapable of doing. They are incompetent. And then they don't get promoted any further.
Yeah.
But they don't get knocked back down.
Yeah.
So you end up with a bunch of people who don't know how to do their job.
I see.
And it's an actual principle because
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it happens frequently.
Huh.
And as long as you're working with people who are better than you, ideally you can avoid that.
Yeah. Well, and then that's the other thing, I guess, that since we're talking about jobs in the film industry, what's unique about the film industry is you getting a job.
The number of people.
Well, where are you going with this?
The number of people who are incompetent in their jobs?
I wasn't going there. But
okay.
I was going to, but that actually is related to what I was about to say, which is that you getting a job has nothing to do with how good you are at what you do. It has nothing to do with it. It does eventually.
Yes.
But your first couple of jobs, in my experience, are based entirely on networking and who you know, because I can't tell you how many jobs I've gone to where they're like, can you do this? And I'm thinking to myself, I have no idea how to do that, and you just say yes. Because if you don't say yes, you won't get the job. And if you do say yes, then you can go home and figure out how to do it.
Yep, classic fake it till you make it.
Yep, and you have to do that.
Yeah.
That would be my advice.
Right,
like,
and you've interned at a fairly large place. You know, I've been a page at a fairly large network studio.
Yeah.
It's not like this is just completely out of our ass.
No, and then experience too from getting these jobs. Like you have to just say, no matter what people ask you, can you do it? You don't even hedge it. Don't even be like, well, you know, I've done that a little bit. Like, oh, Photoshop. Do you know Photoshop? You know, I've worked in it a little bit, but you know, mostly I work in this. Just be like, oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, like I said, fake it till you make it.
And then go and figure out how to use Photoshop that weekend because. And it's not, and that's not even to say like you're going to be asked to just. I mean, if it's a job for you to sit and do Photoshop all day, don't apply for that job. But
be reasonable.
Yeah, be reasonable with it.
But it's the same as what they tell actors. There's nothing you can't do.
Yeah.
Because
if
your job is now to go learn how to do that.
Yeah, and if you've had a balanced, and that's the other thing I guess too. That would be that's another thing that I took away is that, you know, I was a major with an emphasis in writing and directing. Right. That was my technical title of my major.
We didn't do emphases.
Yeah. You guys just had a film production blanket.
Right.
And that's gone now. That's gone.
Yeah.
That was there. And so, but to do that, there was specific courses to take. It was like writing, directing, and I ended up taking extra editing courses because I like to do that.
When he says it's gone, the school still offers a film program.
It's just but it's a blanket degree now.
It's
It's not the specified thing.
Right.
And so I think that a lot of, you could do it in cinematography, you could do it in editing, audio, screenwriting. So there was a lot of different emphases, and I have to say that what I thought I wanted to do isn't necessarily what I'm doing, and I haven't found that to be bad. Like what I thought I wanted to do out of film school, realize you really, unless you're Steven Spielberg or you know Steven Spielberg, you're not going to be able to just go do what you wanted to do.
Well, it's not like a normal job in that regard.
But I think that to you people who are either in film school or thinking about going into film school, I think you have to have a love for the medium and all facets of it.
Yeah.
That'll really allow you to be versatile. I think being versatile has been the thing for me that has gotten me the most work is that you can hand me a camera. You can sit me down in front of a computer.
Right. At this point,
you can say, go to produce this whole piece. I can do any of those things.
Right. And I would have to agree with that. Probably the greatest thing my father ever did for me was I was originally just a theater major. That's all I wanted because I was, I'm talent. And he begged me, having been an actor for many, many years, to go to film school and learn the technical side of stuff, so that after film school, if I didn't get a job as an actor, I could still make money.
Whoa, that's a loud motorcycle.
That is a loud motorcycle. And here I am after film school, not being an actor, but making money.
Yep.
So thank you, Dad.
That's good.
And
yeah, and I think that that at least and this is something that really could just be our experience, is having the wide breadth of knowledge is beneficial, like being able to, because a lot of the stuff where we work, you have to be.
I think if we could have Steven Spielberg on the show, and by the way, Steven Spielberg, if you're listening to this, you should come on the show.
We can just Skype it or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, well, on the phone, I don't care.
I don't care if you just send a letter and we read that. Or either way.
Yeah.
I think he would agree with you. I think he would say having a wide breadth of knowledge can't possibly hurt.
Yeah, but I have to say this: that once you break into...
I am in no way a spokesman for Steven Spielberg, though.
Oh, I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I will speak for him. He's the best.
Oh, okay. Yes, I will speak on his behalf, saying that he is the best, but what I say that he thinks may or may not be what he thinks.
No, it's true.
But I'm going to go ahead and say that that's what he thinks.
I think it's pretty good.
I think he would agree with me.
Yeah.
Just even if it was, to sound good over the airwaves, I think he would say, well, of course, you need to... I mean, that's not how he sounds, but... You know what I mean.
Okay, so no, but I think once you, and what you're actually taught too, you're taught in film school that, like, if you're taught anything about jobs, which that's debatable at least. I don't know how it is. I don't know how it is 8 years later, but I would. And that's where we'll move to next.
Yeah.
But you are taught that it's the old Hollywood unionized system.
Yeah.
Where you're in the art department, you're in gaff, you're in grip, you're in camera,
and at least when I was there, it's funny the way that the students themselves almost break themselves up into a hierarchy.
When you get on a student film shoot, absolutely, they're like, "Oh, I'm the ace, I'm the assistant camera, so I don't touch the lights, I don't."
And then over the 4 years, certain students become known as, well, he's a cinematographer. Well, and that's how people end up choosing their focuses.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is fine, but it's funny how a film school almost becomes an old-fashioned,
miniature old studio style system.
It really does. Yeah. And it seems like Chapman, at least, Loyola wasn't quite as big on this.
Yeah.
At least when I was there, but I know that Chapman really wants to foster that.
Oh yeah, they that's why they do the separation. They have these, and then you go, okay, well, who do I know from my year or from a year around me that's a cinematographer? I need to shoot my thesis film. I got to go find one.
Which, I don't know, coming from my system, because this is where the differences come to play. Loyola was more of an old-fashioned film school, in that we're going to discuss the art of film
more so than making it.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not that it's not, and it's I in no way am saying that they did not promote the making of films.
Yeah.
But the emphasis, if there's show business, they emphasize the show and not the business.
Oh yes, this was a point that you had brought up that you wanted to talk about. Yes,
business is a much bigger word between those two words.
It is a bigger word, and it has a broader.
And it's much more important.
Yeah.
Quite frankly.
To
the people who are working, to the people who are not working, it's all about business.
Mm-hmm.
And the business is selling you stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And putting on a show so that you stick around.
They don't talk about that at all in either.
Oh yeah.
Either of our experiences. You don't talk about that. So as far as so let's bring it back to. So what did you take away that? I know that there's a lot of, and I guess I'll say this. We're not gonna try and crap on film school by any stretch. I absolutely love the time I had there.
Me too.
I think that it's a valuable thing to do. Maybe consider double majoring.
Yes.
In case it doesn't work out for you, you have somewhere else to go. Not that just having a degree in of itself is good enough.
Sure.
For most jobs, but there's a lot of technical things that you learn, and working on student films.
Yes.
That is very, very valuable stuff. That is what you need to know for getting any of these jobs.
That helps you so you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
But as far as, so obviously there's a reason to go and you get a lot out of it.
Yep.
But what about them literally telling you, here's how you go get a job, or
here's who you talk to get a job, or this will be most likely your first job.
Right. Go be a page. Go be an intern. Go do this.
I got absolutely zero of that, and that's the one thing that I resent the school for. I love everything that I learned. I love the experience. I loved all the stuff I got to, all the equipment I got exposed to, everything like that, and I use it every day.
Yeah, me too.
So I would never say don't go to film school. However, they do not, in my opinion, when I was there, did not at all do anything. And I know that this is not unique, because if you go to a business school or you go to any of the other departments, they actually have job placement.
Yeah.
There was nothing like that.
No.
They were like, you can do an internship, and you're like, well, that's great, because
the closest that in my experience that film school comes to job placement, be aware of this, is the film you make as your senior project.
Yeah, go put it in a festival.
Go put it in a festival, and hopefully you get a job out of
direct.
that.
Yep.
That's it.
And that's like one person a year for the whole United States.
Right. It's not that common.
No,
it's not that common. Basically, something that you have to consider is the money that I'm spending on film school. Should I save that money and make a feature film?
Yeah, that's viable.
I'm just saying. I'm not advocating that path.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the things you learn in film school, the best things you learn in film school, you learn by doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
and that's what it does, is it puts you in a position to be able to do that.
Yes.
Which you can't get into. Like, if you just don't go to college, you can't get your hands on an Arri Super 16 or a 35 millimeter camera.
So those are the benefits. The benefits to me
and
are
this gear and all that. Sound stages.
Your film education, because I do believe that seeing a lot of movies
that helps
a lot.
Yeah.
Like I said, you don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Using the equipment, learning how to do it.
Yeah.
Once again, learning how to not reinvent the wheel, because you learn about the 180-degree line and things like that. Good stuff. You also could spend that time making films, and you might learn a lot of the same stuff. And at the end of it, you might have a really awesome film. With that said, it depends on how talented you are.
Well, true. That's another topic as well.
Yeah,
that leads into what you were talking about earlier, which will be probably our third episode.
Oh yeah, no, we have a lot more to say about that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I guess So I would say that as far as literally them having a resource for you to find a job did not exist. I still don't believe it exists. I feel like that they've probably tried to put on a face of, oh, we have these available, but they think that internships are jobs, and they're not, because literally interns in Hollywood are like basically slave labor. It's basically like, cool, we have someone, and that's really, to me, I guess, when you find some stuff out about how it works via internships, that really that'll take your opinion of Hollywood down a notch, because literally they have interns, which are just random college students who have zero qualifications for anything, reading scripts and throwing scripts and keeping scripts and saying, well, this one was crap and this one was good.
Right.
And they have, and what is their, like, how is their opinion valuable to anyone? So, like, I don't like that, and you're doing it for free, or maybe you're getting paid something, but they're not going to offer you a job after your internship. Let me throw it that way. If you're working, 90% of them are upfront production house. You're sitting there answering the phone and reading scripts. You will not be offered a job out of that. If you're lucky enough to get
there are, of course, always exceptions to this rule. We're not going to say, because I'm sure someone will be like, I was an intern and now I'm the president of NBC.
Well, of course. But
well, good for you. You obviously are a go-getter.
Yeah.
But it's not everybody who... There's a lot of interns, and they're not all the president of NBC. So... yeah, I don't know how to solve that one, though, because it's not... Even people who have jobs may not have them next year.
Well, no, that's true, too.
So the job placement out of film school, I don't know how to do that.
No.
I think one of the best things that I've seen, actually, I have to throw it at your film school, Chapman, is trying to foster that alumni being basically an old-fashioned studio house for their alumni. Come back, make a film here. We'll try to help you.
I don't think that's really gone anywhere, but that was the plan.
That was the plan, anyway. Yeah. I liked that idea. That was the closest that I had heard to job placement, because, quite frankly, making films is the only way to get jobs.
Yes.
And that's expensive.
Oh, if you want to direct, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
If you want to direct feature films or whatever, you have to do that, and that's on your dime.
Yeah.
And so good luck with that. And
make your senior project worth it.
Yeah, you better make it that good, because that's where you're going to have the resources. And that's the other thing too, is after you get out of film school, not only do you lose the equipment and access to it, you lose
crew,
because it's nice to have crew on demand in film school. You can just call somebody up.
Yeah. And there's always people who want to help you. Once you get out in the real world, it's one of those Christopher Nolan things where you have to work every weekend for a year to make your feature or whatever.
Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. Do it if you can.
But, please. But crew is harder to find. Even the people who used to be crew, they give up their dreams.
But I guess ultimately, I don't have any of my places that I freelance for. There's not a single one of those that I got the job because I sent them a reel or a resume.
No.
It's entirely based on
who we know.
Someone introduced me to them and said, "Hey, do you need someone? Like, I know this guy." And then you do have to prove that you can do it and that you're good, obviously. Otherwise, they don't call you again. Because especially in a freelance world, they can just choose to never call you again. You're done if you're not good enough. So that's ultimately, I guess, what it is I hate that it's who you know. And it's not who you know per se. It's just
who you meet.
It's who you meet, because it's not like, oh, well, if you don't know someone who works on the set of Leverage, then you'll never be able to be a grip. It's like, no.
No.
You can, and it's not even about being, on a TV show or being on whatever. And I think that's what we define. I think that's what I had to come to grips with and have, is that I'm not working on a series TV show.
Right.
But I'm happy. I'm fine with that.
Right.
I don't need to be working on a series TV show, because honestly, if I was on a series TV show, I would probably not be as enjoying what I'm doing every day as what I get to do every day as a freelance person. Which is, I have a lot more control over, and I get a lot more creativity versus just being an AC.
Sure.
Or an assistant editor where I'm just logging footage.
Let me ask you this, though. And I'm going to choose a show that's not on the air anymore. Mm-hmm. If The West Wing came up to you and said, "Do you want to work for us?" Mm-hmm. What do you say?
You say yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to double check.
Yes. That's ultimately what it is that I have to say that I have a feeling that being freelance and doing what we do is much more fulfilling, because you get to actually you get to have your opinion, and you get to cut things the way you want to cut them or shoot them the way you want to shoot them. Mm-hmm. People just trust you to go do it.
Sure.
On the other hand, if someone from a studio show calls you and says, "Do you want to come be an assistant editor, and all you're going to do is log footage," you say yes.
Right. Okay.
Because that's ultimately, and that's personal.
Yeah.
That's ultimately where I want to get to. So that's the way onto that ladder. You sometimes have to take a step back.
Yeah.
To take ultimately a step forward.
So if I'm just understanding you, you're finding a way to enjoy whatever it is you're doing right now.
Yes.
And I think that's a good attitude.
Yeah.
All right. I think we need to move on to Oscars.
I do too. I think that's good. That's good there. And I guess what I'm afraid of, just as I'm hearing us talk, is I'm afraid that we're going to sound a little bit pompous, and I don't want that to be the case, because...
You know what? I am kind of pompous.
Okay, you're kind of pompous.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound a little bit pompous.
You're not really that pompous. You're opinionated, but you're not pompous.
I don't want to sound like we're telling you this is how it is.
No, this is just our experience.
We just want to share it, basically, is what it is. Okay.
I have these things inside me, and they have to come out.
All right, so let's talk Oscars. This would be another jingle opportunity. Would you like to attempt one? Oscar picks, we're picking Oscars. We're picking movies for the Oscars. Picking Oscars, picks. I'll just do it.
Picky Oscars.
Picking Oscars.
Okay.
All right, so let's just go down the list here, and let's obviously
I gotta say, you're a real superstar for stepping up with these jingles today.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just happening.
It is. I appreciate it.
And we're we're into this podcast a ways, so let's not spend too long just chattering it up. Let's move.
Okay.
We got a lot of picks. We're going to discuss them as they need to be discussed, but there's a lot of things that go on here.
Yeah, because we can edit too.
We can edit too. Will we? I guess you'll find out.
You'll find out.
Okay, so Best Picture.
Okay, we're starting from the top because.
And I think what we're going to have to end up doing here is what's your favorite, but what do you think is going to win? We're going to have to do the double pick.
And if it's appropriate, what is missing? What should be here that isn't here?
Yeah.
Shrek?
I said Shrek.
Shrek.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a combination of sure and correct.
I like it.
Shrek.
Shrek. Is that more correct than correct or less correct than correct?
I think it's more correct because you're sure of it and it's correct. It's Shrek.
Oh, I see. You're confirming your own correctness.
Yes.
I see. So it's not even worth debating.
No. Okay, so Best Picture. You've got Amour, Argo, Beasts of the Southern Wild, Django Unchained, Les Mis, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Silver Linings Playbook, Zero Dark 30.
Yeah.
what is your personal pick?
My personal pick, best picture of the year, without a doubt, Lincoln.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because, and nothing against movies like Silver Linings Playbook or anything like that, there's to me a difference between a good movie, which is what I'm assuming Silver Linings Playbook is. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
And that should be what all movies are trying to be.
Yeah.
And then there's something special. Mm-hmm. Lincoln, to me,
had something special.
Was something special. It was an event.
Yeah, and let's disclose this right now, because these are gonna basically, these movies that we just listed, they're basically gonna be the movies that we're going through over and over again.
Yeah.
I have not seen Amour. I have not seen Beasts of the Southern Wild.
French.
And I have not seen Silver Linings Playbook. The rest of them I have seen.
Mm-hmm. I have not seen Beasts of the Southern Wild or Amour. And I have not seen Silver Linings Playbook.
Okay, so the same. You saw Argo?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved Argo.
That might arguably be probably, of these, that's the one I will probably rewatch the most.
Okay. Yeah.
But I agree with you that Lincoln is my favorite. It's the best film, and I also think it's going to win. That's actually my pick for winning as well.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your pick for winning?
I was having trouble actually.
It's picking, tough. It's really hard because there's the Life of Pi has had a surge.
Life of Pi has had a surge, and I was debating whether or not Argo might win Best Picture.
Well, it won the Golden Globe.
I know, and then they'll give the Best Director to Spielberg.
I don't think Spielberg's going to get the Best Director.
You think they're going to pull a classic? The movie was great, but Spielberg, I don't care.
Yeah, I think that in the Best Picture, the ones that are real contenders to win are Argo, Lincoln, Life of Pi, and Zero Dark 30. Right. I think those are the four that have the best odds. And Zero Dark 30 was fantastic. I just feel like since they did the Hurt Locker,
right. I don't think they'll do it twice.
I didn't like it quite as much as Hurt Locker. I didn't think it was quite as good as Hurt Locker.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, but then Argo's a little bit. Lincoln has the Oscar feel to it. Argo's a little bit too much of a thriller. It would be like a Silence of the Lambs year if Argo won, which I would be totally happy if Argo won too.
I'm not opposed to Argo winning. I don't know.
What do you?
What I think will win?
You got to pick something.
I know. What do I think will win? Just to be interesting, I'm going to go ahead and say I think Argo will win.
Okay. And maybe in our next episode we'll revisit this quickly and see who got the best score.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best Director. You go ahead and read this one because I'm going to butcher names if I do.
Okay. Oh my.
Yeah, the first name. Uh-huh. The guy who directed Amour.
The guy. I'm pretty sure it's either Michael or maybe Michelle because he's a.
I think it's Michael.
Yeah, it's Michael.
Haneke. I don't know.
Something like that. I'm sorry, Michael.
Michael, listen. Maybe you should spell your name so people can read it.
Hey, that's a thought. And I'm sorry that I said it wrong. Coming up next, we have Ben Zeitlin with Beasts of the Southern Wild. Ang Lee, Greg's favorite director, for Life of Pi. Steven Spielberg,
Lincoln,
for Lincoln, and then David O. Russell, Silver Linings Playbook.
Now here's the other thing about Silver Linings. That's one of the ones I haven't seen.
Yeah.
However, every single person I know except for you has seen it.
Yeah.
And they all said, "Oh, it's great, it's great." And I said, "But Oscar?" And they're like, "Nah."
See, I feel like we have a Descendants here, and I loved the movie The Descendants.
Oh, The Descendants, I would say, was Oscar worthy.
You think so?
Yeah.
Once again, here's my case for this. I think The Descendants is nomination worthy. I thought The Descendants was fantastic. I loved that movie. George Clooney, you rock the house, running down the street in your little flip-flop things.
Yeah.
But that's what I call a good movie. That's what every movie should be like. We should have 10, 15 Descendants and 1 Transformers a year. This is my opinion.
That's true.
Okay? Instead, we have...
By the way, Austin does not hate Transformers.
I love Transformers. I like all 3 of them.
I don't want you to
deal
think
with that.
Yeah, I know.
I like all 3 Matrix movies, too. Deal with that.
Yep.
So...
That happened.
Yeah. I'm still saying everybody's goal is to create a Flight or a Silver Linings Playbook or a Descendants. That's called making an adult film.
Yeah.
Or not an adult film, but you know.
yeah. That is not called making an adult film.
That is called making a mature...
Intelligent film. There you go.
Yes.
Yes, an adult
That's what
film.
we're all striving to do here. To tell me a story about some people who did some stuff.
Yeah.
Transformers should be, oh my God. Avengers should be, oh my God.
Yeah. So
that's why Lincoln, which tells a story and is oh my God, is Best Picture.
And back to Silver Linings, everyone also they all said, I don't know. It was really good, but I don't know about Best Picture. And then I said, well, compare it to The Fighter, which is his last movie, and they're all like, no.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm like, I don't think that's going to win, because the Academy love The Fighter.
Right.
And they're going to go, well, this isn't on the level of that, so I'll knock him off the list. Now, I have to say that it's probably, I wish it would be Spielberg.
I wish it would be Spielberg, too.
But
we all know what they feel about Spielberg.
I feel like they might give it to Ang Lee, which would really be the biggest travesty ever to befall the Academy Awards.
Okay.
I cannot stand him.
I know you can.
I saw The Life of Pi. It wasn't bad. It did get stupid at a certain point, though.
I understand. Okay, now, will you please, in just very few words, explain why you don't like Ang Lee?
I don't like Ang Lee because he makes movies boring. That's at the crux of it. Every single movie.
Oh, hold on. This is a segment that we call "What's Wrong, Greg?"
Yes, and then
What's wrong, Greg?
There you go.
Go ahead.
What's wrong is Ang Lee is allowed to direct movies. That's what's wrong. He's allowed to make movies, and he likes to just be like, you know what? For 5 minutes now, we're just going to look at landscape shots and play music over it. You okay with that? And I say no. I say nay.
Right.
This movie could have been 45 minutes long, but you showed me so many landscape shots, the movie is now 2 hours long.
All right. Yes or no? Oh, go ahead.
The Life of Pi, fine film. I would argue against his direction. I don't like the way that the older version of the main character was portrayed, and I blame Ang Lee. I also... What? Why wouldn't I blame Ang Lee?
No, you should. You should blame anybody you want.
And don't like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which most people are like, that's the one I like. And
that is the one I like.
I fell asleep in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And that's a movie where I was required to read, and I fell asleep. So
okay. Well, that answers my next. I was about to go yes or no. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, no.
Yes or no. Brokeback Mountain.
No. That one.
No, that one
because of the freaking shots of the mountains.
Good story.
It's actually the mountains. I don't care. I don't want to look at them. I don't want to stare at sweeping vistas. Well, that's fine. That's called nature on PBS.
All right.
Okay, so I'm afraid he's going to win.
Yeah, sometimes after What's Wrong, Greg, we may have a segment called What's Wrong, Greg.
Yeah.
Not this time.
You agree. But so do you have this fear that Ang Lee's going to win?
I don't have a fear because I don't hate him the same way you do. I like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but you're not wrong. He does add too many landscape shots.
Yeah.
I am not afraid he's going to win. I'm afraid of a wild card here.
I like the Amour guy.
Maybe the Amour guy, or maybe Ben Zeitlin, first time nominee.
First time.
Yeah, but
this French guy though. Now that you say that,
I'm worried about
feeling that because they love the foreign films, and since I have a feeling they're obviously that's going to win best foreign film.
Yeah,
Amour.
But
so they could go him and be like.
Let's put it this way: I would be surprised if Spielberg won.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's gonna be Ang Lee as my actual choice.
All right, I'll go director of Amour just once again to be interesting. I do hold out the possibility that they could throw a surprise with the Ben Zeitlin.
Okay, but you're saying Michael Haneke or whatever his name is.
Haneke, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Michael.
I'm not.
All right.
Best actor. You've got Bradley Cooper, Silver Linings, Daniel Day-Lewis, Lincoln, Hugh Jackman, Les Mis, Joaquin Phoenix, The Master, Denzel, Flight. Now I think this is going to be our fastest category.
Yep.
Daniel Day-Lewis, he's going to win, and he was the best.
He better.
Okay. We're done. Moving on. Yep. Best actress. Jessica Chastain.
I got this one. Jessica Chastain, Zero Dark 30. Jennifer Lawrence, Silver Linings Playbook. Emmanuel Riva, Amour. Quivan.
Well, look at that name.
Nuts. I knew how to say this before I came on. I looked.
Quavatier Wallace.
No, I knew how to say this before we came on. I specifically looked it up.
Oh, you forgot.
I did. I believe it's like Quivanzane. It's something like that. I apologize. Miss Wallace, you are tremendous. Okay? Naomi Watts, The Impossible.
Okay, this one's tougher.
This one's tougher.
I'm feeling... Well, you've got the Amour wild card.
Because she's old.
Because she's old. Then I think it's pretty close, actually, between Jennifer Lawrence and Jessica Chastain. I don't hear anything about Naomi Watts.
Really? Because I was thinking that might be the surprise. That might be the upset.
And she hasn't really been... I don't know. She hasn't been that liked. I'm thinking... I'm thinking Chastain. That's going to be my pick as to who.
You know, I'm gonna say that I agree that she will most likely win.
Okay, that's my pick.
Yeah. No, wait. Did she win for The Help?
I think she did, but it was supporting actress.
Right. I understand that.
I'm just saying, though.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna go with Chastain. We're gonna go with Chastain. We both go with Chastain.
Okay. Supporting actor. This is probably the toughest category that I think as far as acting.
I think so too. Go ahead.
Alan Arkin, Argo. De Niro, Silver Linings Playbook. That's the weird one for me. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh no,
I
hear that. I hear that's a strong possibility.
De Niro.
De Niro.
Just because they like him.
And
Tommy
he hasn't
Lee
won
Jones,
in 32 years.
Tommy Lee Jones, Lincoln. Christoph Waltz, Django. Now, well, De Niro, but really?
I hear he's fantastic. I haven't seen it. I hear he's just mind-blowingly good. And come on, we haven't seen... I mean, it's not that De Niro hasn't been good, but he's been doing a little bit of lighter fare lately.
Well, he just feels like he wants to go to sleep every time I see him lately.
I hear that's different this time.
He's awake.
He's awake. And working.
Took a Unisom.
Yeah.
Or no, he didn't take a Unisom.
Right.
Well, I would say that of these performances, my favorite was Christoph Waltz.
Oh, see, I would have to say my favorite was Tommy Lee Jones.
Well, that's my pick.
Okay,
that's the best. I think he's also the best. I just really enjoyed Christoph Waltz and Django.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I want Tommy Lee Jones to win.
Yeah.
I think Christoph Waltz is gonna win.
Oh, you do? Because he already won. So I know. And it's pretty much the same role.
I know.
I mean, he's a good guy, but he talks
quite frankly, despite what I just said, I think we're both wrong.
Oh.
I think one of these other guys is going to win.
Alan Arkin?
I think, it's going to be a surprise.
I'm going Tommy Lee. I want Tommy Lee, and I think he's got a good shot. Has he even won one? He's never won one.
See, he did.
What did he get it for?
The Fugitive.
Did he win? He won supporting for that.
He won supporting for
The Fugitive.
Yeah, he
did.
Oh, yes, he did.
So weird.
All right, so we're moving on to Best Supporting Actress. We're probably going to be wrong on a lot of these.
I think you're right.
Best Supporting Actress, Amy Adams, The Master, Sally Field, Lincoln, Anne Hathaway, Les Mis, Helen Hunt, The Sessions, Jackie Weaver, The Silver Linings Playbook.
I'm going my...
It's a thick category. It's tough.
I don't think anyone, unless you received a screener, saw The Sessions.
Right. No. I agree.
I think it's Anne Hathaway would be my pick, and I think is also the odds-on favorite.
I have to agree with you.
I love Sally Field, though.
I did,
so
too.
She's the other one that I would really... I would be okay with either of them winning.
For that very reason, I'm going to say I want Sally Field to win.
But you're picking Anne Hathaway.
But I'm definitely picking Anne Hathaway, and I'm excited for her because I think she should win.
Yeah. I might do the same.
She almost stole that entire movie.
Well, she did, because I fell asleep after she was out of the movie.
Okay, I liked that movie. I know you weren't a big fan of that one. I liked Les Mis. I was a huge fan of the musical beforehand, though, so I knew what I was getting myself into.
Yes.
It did need an intermission.
Yes.
But I think maybe because I don't want to say I expected the least out of Anne Hathaway, because I didn't.
But her role.
But... given the role she was in, which I knew could be a showstopper, and it's Anne Hathaway, I wasn't as confident in her as, say, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
When I walked into that theater, I expected Hugh Jackman to show me a good time.
Yeah.
I expected Anne Hathaway to be good, but I didn't. I don't think anybody expected that.
Yeah.
Okay. I was making noise.
You did not dream a dream.
I did not dream that dream.
No.
No. Time had gone by, and I did not dream that dream. I did when I was in that theater. Everybody around me, and myself included, was...
You know what I did? After she was off screen, I dreamed a dream.
That's
because
you went to sleep.
It had nothing to do with the movie.
All right.
Okay, animated feature. You've got Brave, Frankenweenie, Paranorman, Pirates, and Wreck-It Ralph. Now, I have not had the best record seeing these movies. In fact, I've seen one of them. Although I have to say that I've heard the best about Frankenweenie.
See, I've heard some fantastic things about Frankenweenie. I've seen Brave, Frankenweenie, Paranorman, and Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay, Wreck-It Ralph was on a red eye back from Hawaii, and I couldn't watch it because my eyes were red.
Understood.
I tried to listen to it. I couldn't even do that. I had to turn it off.
Okay.
So I didn't. I started to see Wreck-It Ralph, and I was like, well, this is sweet. That's how I was feeling about it.
That's exactly how...
So I have to say, I think I would probably have liked... I really liked Brave, and I think that would be my favorite here.
Yes. I'm going to choose Brave to win.
I'm going to choose Frankenweenie to win.
You're going to choose Frankenweenie. I'm going to choose Brave to win.
My girlfriend really enjoyed Frankenweenie.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's very good. And I'm a huge Tim Burton guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Foreign film, do we need to read them? It's just a more, right? That's what's going to
win. That's what's going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be hilarious to hear us try and read some of these. Oh no, these are all pretty easy.
No, these are all pretty easy.
Kon-Tiki, no.
Well, no, because we have to do our choice, and here's how we do this when we've not seen any of the movies.
Yeah. We
choose purely based on the title.
Right. Yeah. So on the title,
we have Amor, Kon-Tiki, No. Royal Affair, and War Witch.
And War Witch is the obviously best title.
We have no idea what it's about.
Well, it's Canadian, which means I'm probably going to like it because they're nice people.
Okay, that has no bearing on it for me. It's called War Witch.
Yeah.
What I'm picturing in my head is, quite frankly, that's an Oscar-winning film right there.
What is it that you're picturing?
A witch.
Is she wearing a combat helmet?
Well, she's wearing a combat-pointed hat.
Oh, okay, it's made of metal.
And she's going to war.
On a broom.
On a broom.
With machine guns mounted to it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure.
It has a shark face painted on the
it's got a shark, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
That's fantastic. Best original screenplay. You've got Amor, Django, Flight, Moonrise Kingdom, Zero Dark 30.
All right, best original screenplay.
Okay. Now, here's where I have... I had an addition to this, and I couldn't understand why it wasn't here, and now I can't seem to remember what that movie
was. Was it one of the best pictures?
No, it's not even anything that's nominated, I don't think. I don't know. I'll think of it in a minute.
Okay.
My favorite screenplay here is probably... it's probably Zero Dark 30.
Okay.
Although, I just want to give it to Moonrise Kingdom because I love that movie so much and it's up for nothing else.
Oh, interesting. I like Moonrise Kingdom. It's far and away not one of my favorite of Wes Anderson's films.
Oh, it's probably my favorite.
Really, nothing tops the Royal Tenenbaums.
Well, Royal Tenenbaums is...
And you know what? I love The Life Aquatic.
The Royal Tenenbaums is the funniest.
Royal Tenenbaums is the funniest. I love The Life Aquatic. For some reason, I understand why you like Moonrise Kingdom. It seems more like your thing. There's camping.
Yeah,
there's
camping.
Awkwardness.
That's true. Yeah,
this
I like
is
all
what
that.
you're all about.
Yeah, that's true.
Camping and awkwardness. That
sums it up.
That's Greg.
Mm-hmm. I have opinions about Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, I think Django Unchained's going to win. I'm not saying it should. I'm saying it will.
It should not.
I'm not. I'm fine if it does.
Amor could be another. See, Amor, you never know.
See, original
it could all of a sudden steal all these random ones because it's the
right. It's not going to get all of them, but it will. I guarantee you, there will be at least one category where you're thinking, I know what's going to win, and
it's going to be Amor.
Wins.
Yeah,
and you're wrong.
It could be us. That's wrong. It probably will be.
Oh,
I think I'm gonna pick Zero Dark 30 as the one I think will win.
Okay, I'm choosing Django because that's the one thing that it will win.
Okay.
I'm saying that's the one thing it'll win.
Adapted screenplay, you've got Argo, Beasts of the Southern Wild, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Silver Linings Playbook.
Where's The Hobbit?
That's a question.
Yeah.
Where is The Hobbit?
Where's Les Mis?
Les Mis is... I think it's interesting, though, because it's adapted from an adaptation.
Okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because they added dialogue in that movie that is not... There is no dialogue in the stage
I wouldn't
production.
argue that it's...
One of the best?
I wouldn't argue that even though that's in there, that screenplay is not better than these.
I'm just saying, it's a hard show to adapt.
I don't think The Hobbit should be in screenplay either.
All right, fine.
And not if you made one movie out
Best
of it.
adapted screenplay, it has to, in my opinion...
Argo?
It has to go to either Argo or Lincoln.
It does.
And it could be Life of Pi this time. It really could. It could be Silver Linings Playbook. I'm going to say Lincoln because freaking Tony Kushner... You're not probably listening to this because you're Tony Kushner. But that was a fantastic script. And Daniel Day-Lewis did it a lot of service by the way he did it. But it was a good script that gave him the right stories to tell.
I'm picking Lincoln because...
Lincoln's been getting no love for its screenplay.
I know, but I'm picking it because the actual process of adapting that...
Ridiculous.
Is easily the hardest of the ones
That's what I'm saying. Lincoln...
And I guess, is Argo... I didn't know that was a book.
I believe it was a Newsweek article, or it was something like that.
Because I feel like that almost should be like with Zero Dark 30.
Yeah, I understand why you say that, and I don't really understand why but it was the inspiration for the screenplay came from the guy reading an article.
I know what should have been an original screenplay, and it should not be up for anything but original screenplay, and that's Looper.
Oh, I remember you saying
that. That is one of the most original movies I've seen in a long time.
In terms of just being, I've never seen that before.
Like, I've never seen that. I can't believe you came up with this. I feel like that that's my upsetting one so far. The categories we've seen, that's why is this not represented? I wouldn't expect it to win. I just feel like it should have gotten a nod.
Sure,
it's it's a better screenplay than Flight, that's for sure.
Okay, then let's just try and remember, Greg. The best original screenplay means best screenplay not based on anything else.
Yes.
Not best original screenplay.
But it's not based on anything else.
But it isn't.
Yeah, it should be.
It should be.
Okay, costumes.
I did not see Looper, though, for the record.
Okay.
Because you didn't buy it, so I could borrow it.
No, I didn't. Costume design.
Anna Karenina.
Les Mis.
Not Anna Karina. Anna Karenina.
Anna Karina. Les Mis. Yeah, if you've seen one. That is on the YouTube.
That is on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, he says it wrong.
I do.
Les Mis, Lincoln, Mirror, Mirror, Snow White. So there's a lot of Snow White going on here.
Okay, here's the way it's going to go down.
This one's super,
I think
I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and not even tell you what I think should win because it doesn't matter. Mirror, Mirror is going to win.
I agree.
I Aiko something.
That guy, yeah.
No, it's a girl. She passed away.
Yeah.
She's been a fantastic costume designer, done things like Bram Stoker's Dracula, just to give you one example. She's a very creative woman. She passed away. I think they're going to give her the posthumous award.
Well, that's the only reason it's even nominated.
It has to be because Mirror, Mirror.
Well, plus also, and once you get into these costume design and visual effects and this kind of stuff, it's such a small community that they just nominate each other every year.
Yeah.
So that's why you see movies that you're like,
why is that?
Why is Snow White and the Huntsman in here? Like that wasn't a good movie, and it's because it's the person, not the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we really, which I have a problem with. But
but I can't change that today.
No, you can't.
So I agree. That's why we're going with Mirror, Mirror.
We are. I'm agreeing.
We're giving her the posthumous nod for all of her great work over the years.
Yes. Original song.
Before My Time from Chasing Ice. Never even heard
of the movie or the song.
Right. Everybody Needs a Best Friend from Ted.
Now this sounds like it's Randy Newman. This sounds like Randy Newman striking again. And for that reason, I'm saying no. Everybody needs a best friend.
Yeah, no, I understand. But no, I need a best friend.
Yeah, Pi's Lullaby. I didn't know there was an original song in Life of Pi.
Well, now you know.
I thought that was just the score.
All right.
So I'm out for
Skyfall is my choice.
Yeah, and suddenly you're against because why put it in there, right?
Because we're already cutting stuff for time. Yeah, you're going to add a song, and this is why.
They added a song. I'm a big fan of Les Mis. Everyone.
I am a huge fan of Les Mis.
But prior to the movie.
Prior to the movie.
Yes.
Long before the movie. Suddenly from Les Mis, we were already having things go on, cut out of the movie, so that we could fit it into a reasonable time scale that's not going to kill people.
Yeah.
And you're adding songs just to get the Oscar nod. Screw you.
Yes. Original score. Oh, and here's where we both get angry.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got Anna Karenina, Argo, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Skyfall. Now, let me just say, Anna Karenina, I've never heard it, but I know exactly what it sounds like.
It's Dario Marianelli. That's all I need to say.
Argo, good movie. Score.
Wasn't that Andre Desplat?
It's Andre Desplat, and it didn't do much for me.
Well, it worked for the movie.
Yeah, it was just some drums and stuff. I was like,
but I'm not going to buy that CD.
No. Life of Pi, okay, fair enough. Put it here. It's a big sweeping score.
Is it? Okay.
It is. Lincoln, obviously, John Williams.
And
it's a great score as well.
Yeah.
Skyfall, I disagree with.
I know you do.
Thomas
Newman.
Well, not David Arnold.
No, I understand it. Thomas Newman did it.
Yeah.
David Arnold did it
every other time before.
Right. He took over from John Barry.
Yeah.
Did it every time. Thomas Newman shows up
and did nothing new.
Did very little new.
No.
Gets nominated.
Yes.
So I understand your
frustration. And then the real travesty is No Hobbit here with Howard Shore.
That is correct.
And that is by far the best score of the year.
That's the one place that The Hobbit should be, and it should win.
Yes. We're very opinionated on these things, and our opinion means nothing. So take that as it is.
There's your disclaimer, folks.
There's your disclaimer. Now we will continue to tell you
The Hobbit should
what
win.
To think. The Hobbit should win. It's not even up, so I'm going to let Lincoln win because I like John Williams.
All right, we'll go with that. It's not going to. I think Life of Pi is going to win.
I think Life of Pi is too, and I'm sad.
Yeah.
Anytime it wins, I'm sad. Best documentary. Okay, now it's time for the show. It's time for the Greg and Austin pick purely based on title.
Yeah, here we go.
Best documentary. 5 Broken Cameras, The Gatekeepers, How to Survive a Plague, The Invisible War, Searching for Sugar Man.
Yeah.
We've already had a small discussion about this.
Yes, but my opinion's changed.
You're no longer a fan of the Sugar Man.
Well, here's why. I found out what it's about.
Well, you can't do that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's breaking the rules.
I didn't mean to. That is breaking the rules.
I was in line at a local bookseller that I enjoy.
I think you can buzz market them.
Okay, Barnes & Noble. I was at Barnes & Noble. And I was standing in line waiting to buy a DVD. Skyfall, as a matter of fact. Buying Skyfall. Because I had a gift card.
Okay.
Not because Barnes & Noble's overpriced. I'm just going to go ahead and say
it is.
Sitting there on the counter was the DVD and the soundtrack to Waiting for Sugarman.
Okay.
Now, do you want me to tell you what it's about?
Now here's where you went wrong. You should have been like, Waiting for Sugarman, and then put your blinders on.
Okay,
but you picked it up.
I didn't pick it up.
Oh.
I didn't pick it up. I didn't need to pick it up. It was obvious from the cover.
Who was on it, the Sugarman?
Yes.
And he didn't live up? He wasn't like a man made of sugar? He wasn't trying
to
sell kids candy and stuff?
No. Obviously, that's what I wanted, Waiting for Sugar.
Yeah.
Searching for Sugarman, because it's an awesome adventure film in which you have to go down Drury Lane,
Sugarman.
All sorts of things, right? No.
What?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Artist.
Oh, Jesus.
Musician. Living here in America, made an album, wasn't a big hit here at all, became a big hit in South Africa. Now he's a huge hit. Now.
Yeah, no, I'm no longer interested either.
See, that's what it's nothing against the movie. I'm sure it's a fantastic film. But when picking purely on titles, when you tell me it's about that, and I was expecting a movie of whimsy starring a man made of sugar.
It's a documentary.
It doesn't matter. We're looking...
Why isn't he made of sugar?
Searching for Sasquatch may not yield any results either. But if we're searching for a sugar man... that's exciting.
Since you've ousted the Sugar Man as an option, I'm going with How to Survive a Plague.
Okay, then I'm going to go with The Invisible War, because I picture that being confusing.
It's going on right now.
It's going on right now. No, but I'm saying if you walk through an invisible battlefield during this Invisible War, you're going to be confused as to why your day has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, short documentary.
Innocente, King's Point, Mondays at Racine, Open Heart, and Redemption. Not giving us much to work with.
This is hard. There's not a really good title here, so I'm going with Innocente. Because I'd like to say it.
I'm going to go with King's Point, because I'm envisioning the DVD cover.
It's the end of his sword?
Nope.
Oh.
It's just single finger.
He's just pointing. Pointing. I want you.
And we don't know what he's pointing about. That's what the short film's about. You see him pointing. The whole thing's a search to figure out who he's pointing at.
Best makeup and hairstyling. Hitchcock, The Hobbit, Les Mis. I feel like I think it's going to be Hitchcock.
You think it's going to be Hitchcock for that?
I do.
I thought that one was kind of weird. Once again...
Nobody liked it.
Nobody liked
the movie.
Once again, I actually might put Looper up in this one for making...
For making him look just like... Yeah, I'm going to say Hitchcock.
Because that weirded me out. I almost didn't want to see the movie because they did a good job at that.
Well, and I've got a feeling that the guy who did Hitchcock is one of those guys that are in there that just get named every year.
Sure.
I know the Hobbit people are all those New Zealanders, so they're not really into them.
Yeah.
And they're like, we already did your thing. We're not doing it again.
I feel like Les Mis is going to take this.
Oh, you think? Well, for what?
Just because it's one of those, it's like best.
They didn't even do anything.
But I understand that. But best costume design, they always do the. If you have Anna Karenina, that's what wins.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if it wasn't for
the woman,
I'm voting Anna Karenina just because we're doing.
Well, Lincoln's period too, though. You could go Lincoln, but it's not going to.
It's not dresses. No.
You're right. They want dresses. You could go Les Mis. There wasn't a whole lot of fancy dress there. It was mostly poor people dressed up in Les Mis.
But we're talking makeup, hairstyling.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're in makeup.
And they quote unquote made Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
look
I
old.
disagree.
I understand.
Okay.
Best production design.
Yeah.
Anna Karenina, The Hobbit, Les Mis, Life of Pi, Lincoln.
Now here's
I have to go Lincoln on this one.
I go Lincoln too. Now I have a point of contention. The Life of Pi is entirely filmed on a green screen.
Right.
Why is it up for this?
Right.
It's a boat. Like they put a boat in front of a green screen.
Agreed.
Why did he production design the boat?
I don't know. I
don't
have no
understand
answers
that.
for you.
Okay. Film editing. Argo, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Silver Linings Playbook, Zero Dark 30.
Oh, by the way, production design, once again, might be another Les Mis.
It could be an Anna Karenina.
It could be an Anna Karenina.
It really could be an Anna Karenina now that I think about it.
Yeah, exactly. I vote Lincoln, but I don't think Lincoln's going to win. Even though, from what I understand, Doris Kearns Goodwin, who wrote the book, was just blown away.
Well, it was really... Well, I liked it because they did it dark, which is how
they did it dark. It looked like the time period. You can imagine people being stinky.
I don't know if you guys have realized that we like Steven Spielberg.
We do.
I don't know if you've gotten that message by now.
You know what? I love Steven Spielberg. I am biased towards Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
I feel like that has nothing to do with how good I think Lincoln is.
Okay, good. So film editing, I'm feeling like the two I want to pick between are Argo and Zero Dark 30.
I feel the same way.
And I
feel like Argo should.
I think Argo, because I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, so I feel like they can throw it its award.
I wanted to give it as much as I can.
Okay.
Oh, one thing we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
Best Director.
Yeah.
Where's Ben Affleck?
Yeah, he should be in there over Ang Lee.
I agree.
Actually, probably over Ben Zeitlin. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, but he needs this. The reason I wouldn't kick him out is, provided he's a good director and stuff like that, he's the kind of guy who benefits more from this nomination than anybody else.
That's true. Ben Affleck doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. He deserves it, though.
Yeah.
Michael Haneke, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, well, you haven't seen it.
Well-known. No, I haven't seen it.
Was he well-known?
He's a well-known French.
We can't say his name, but he's so well-known.
European director. I shouldn't say he's French. I don't know that he is actually French. But Ben Affleck deserves the nomination here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ang Lee, David O. Russell.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cinematography. Anna Karenina again, which is it's so weird when this one's not up for anything but these.
Yeah, the more
these back end ones.
Yeah.
Django, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Skyfall. I don't even know why Django's here.
Django looked good, but
it didn't look like it. Just looked like a movie.
Right.
I was just like, here's a movie.
Life of Pi.
Life of Pi, again, green screen, so give it to the digital artist. Don't give it to the guy who sat behind his camera in front of a boat.
Let's see how Greg feels about this when we get to Best Special Effects.
Oh, yeah, wait, you haven't even started.
Yeah. But I agree with you. Skyfall is actually my choice. I loved it's either Lincoln or Skyfall. I feel like Lincoln deserves it, but I would not be upset if Skyfall got it, simply because the last, 30 minutes of that movie, when you're at Skyfall, is freaking gorgeous.
Well, it's between those two to me, too. I think that... I think Skyfall has a chance of winning, just because it's not what's-his-face who does all Spielberg's movies.
Janusz
Kaminski.
Mm-hmm.
But the technical merit of shooting Lincoln the way they shot it with the lighting is pretty awesome, too. So I feel like cinematographers might want to reward that.
They might. They won't.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Lincoln, but I agree with you that I like Skyfall.
I do. It looked sharp. That was a good-looking movie.
Sound editing... Argo, Django, Pi, Skyfall, Zero Dark 30.
I don't care.
These ones are impossible, but you know that these two will go together.
Yeah.
Even though somehow there's a difference in nominees.
Best sound mixing, also Argo, Les Mis, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Skyfall.
They've swapped.
Zero Dark 30 for Les Mis.
What about Django?
What took its place? I
don't know.
Argo, Life of Pi.
This is weird.
Skyfall.
There's 5 in both, right? Oh, Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln.
I think it's going to be... I'm going to say Skyfall for both. It could be Argo for both, though. It could definitely be Argo for both.
Yeah, I'll take Argo for both.
Okay.
Best visual effects.
Okay. Now.
All right, here we go.
Say what you need to say.
When dealing with the best visual effects, I personally like to choose something where I didn't know that there was visual effects going on, and where I'm seeing something that blows my mind. Hence, Transformers should have won Best Visual Effects, or where, of course, you're breaking new ground. In this case, Snow White and the Huntsman... Oh, by the way, the nominees are The Hobbit, Life of Pi, Marvel's Avengers, Prometheus, Snow White, and the Huntsman. We have some good ones here. Snow White and the Huntsman, for me, is out. Actually, I loved the Avengers. I enjoyed it. Avengers is out. It looked kind of cartoony. Looked good, but it was a cartoon. Life of Pi, I'll let Greg cover that. The Hobbit would be my choice.
Okay.
But that's a tough one because I really like the special effects of Prometheus. The difference is Prometheus, I saw the special features, and Ridley Scott built some beautiful sets. Why is that one not up for Best Production Design? If there's going to be one that should be up for that, Prometheus
I would agree that should be up for Best Production
because that was a beautiful movie. Regardless of however else you thought about it, it was a beautiful film. Yeah. It had some great special effects.
Just because Lindelof ruined it doesn't mean it didn't have merits.
Listen up, Lindelof. We know you ruin things.
You're on notice.
You're on notice. Oh, that's a good thing. That's another segment. People were putting on notice.
Well, that's a Stephen Colbert thing, but we'll steal it.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't call it notice.
Yeah.
Watch your back.
Watch your back, Lindelof.
That's right.
It's not a threat.
See you on the streets.
By the way, this is in no way a threat. Okay, here's what I have to say about this, because this is the category that I get most passionate about year in, year out. Like 1999, classic Greg angry at visual effects year. Oh. Because you had The Matrix and you had Star Wars Episode 1.
We disagree on this.
Now, I argue that, now of course then, this is all in the context of Gollum basically winning it for the Two Towers, which I would argue Jar Jar Binks, there was no Gollum without Jar Jar Binks, even though everyone hates the character.
Right, this is a pre-Gollum world.
You completely believed that guy was on screen.
You didn't want him there, but you believed it.
You did not want him there, but you knew he was there, goddammit, because he was bothering you.
That he was there. That's true.
That did not win in the Matrix one, and I don't see the ground that the Matrix broke that was original. They had bullet time, and I'm like, they did that in commercials. You've
never seen anything like that before.
I had, though. They did commercials.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all they had. I was like, this is an entire character. This is a one shot. Thanks a lot. Anyways, so I get upset about this. And then Transformers, I'm with you. And Pearl Harbor is another one that's... Michael Bay movies basically usually have some of the best visual effects around.
And Pearl Harbor's a good example, because there are shots in that movie where you're like, there are no visual effects, and it's like a full visual
The whole building is not there, and you didn't know. You thought it was just a plate, and they put the plane in between the building. The building wasn't there either. That kind of stuff.
No, they really flew the plane through there. The buildings weren't there.
Yeah.
Like...
So I really liked the special effects in The Hobbit, although every single person I talked to seems to think they weren't good, and I'm like, I don't know what you saw. Maybe you saw it at 60 frames. I'm not dumb enough to do that.
Right. Maybe you saw it in 3D. I didn't do that either.
Life of Pi were not even good special effects, and this has nothing to do with Ang Lee.
What we have here, folks, is a Harry Potter situation.
They were, this is ILM like D team for sure. This is the ILMD team doing Life of Pi. They're crap. So I immediately... Now, this is really ultimately why I get angry, because I think that's going to win.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately... They are by far the worst of anything listed here. And I've never even seen the Snow White movie, but I saw the trailer.
They didn't look bad.
No, they looked average. Life of Pi, I say the worst, will probably win. That will be my pick to win. My favorite is Prometheus. Avengers, I agree with you. Good, but it looked like a comic book, which is exactly what the movie was. But if we're going for realism, they failed.
Oh, right. And they were going for a certain aspect of realism.
They were. I think they were going for... I think what they thought it looked like looked better than what I thought it looked like. But I thought what they did worked for the movie.
Let me just quickly throw this in context here, just to give I think, an example that more people can get behind. Because we agree that Matrix, Star Wars, contentious, controversial.
Yeah.
The year that Transformers didn't win... The Golden Compass won.
Yes, bad, horrible CGI bears.
Screw those bears.
Yeah, those bears were
Normally,
awful.
you tell me CGI bears.
Snow bear going into battle?
I'm in.
Yes, but they didn't look good. They didn't look like snow bears.
No. Not compared to a Transformer in which every piece of a car went somewhere on a robot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Snow White, fine, whatever. It's not going to win. It shouldn't. Hobbit, very good. But I think that they kind of will look at it and be like, well, it looked exactly like Lord of the Rings, so why...
See, I feel like that's The Hobbit all over. We already did that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then Prometheus will not win, but that was by far, and in visual effects is included the special set practical effects. That's part of that category. Mm-hmm. And that's mostly what it was, which makes it even cooler. So, and that's despite my opinions on that movie. But I think Life of Pi is going to win tragically.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got two fun categories to finish it off because they're short animated and short live action, and this will be another title selection.
All right, you read short film animated, I'll read short film live action.
Adam and Dog, Fresh Guacamole, Head Over Heels, Maggie Simpson in The Longest Daycare, and Paperman. Now, obviously, my pick is Fresh Guacamole.
Well, that's both of our picks.
Okay.
I mean,
it's a clear choice.
What do you think that's about?
I think it's about Fresh Guacamole.
Like, it's just the whole cartoon is someone making guacamole?
I really hope it is.
Depends on who's making it.
Well, if someone, as long as it ends with someone taking a chip and guacamole and looking super satisfied, that's how I want it to end.
You see them working, and take a bite. And you're just like, oh.
What's happened is I really want guacamole right now.
Fresh guacamole.
Like, fresh guacamole sounds fantastic.
It's a good title. It's a good title.
Okay. What about live action?
Okay, so best short film live action. We have Azad. We have the Buzkashi Boys, Curfew, Death of a Shadow, or Dude van in Shadow.
Yes.
And Henry.
just Henry.
I think right here I have to go for.
I'll tell you what I'm picking.
What?
Henry.
Yeah, just because
I mean, Death of a Shadow clearly sounds the coolest, and the fact that it's followed it in Dutch.
Right.
I would normally go that way, but Henry's too funny to pass up.
It's just Henry.
It's just like, hey.
Okay, real quick. What's Henry about?
It's about Henry.
Right.
Yeah. This is a live action. I think it's probably about an old man eating.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What if it was?
If it's about that, I'm that has to win. That should be up for Best Picture.
Just watching an old man eat at Denny's for 5 minutes?
Yeah. He's got a little bit in the corner of his mouth. Like I said. He's just got a little bit in the corner of his mouth, and and he has to stop at one point. And then takes another bite, sigh. And he just goes.
Okay.
That's a lesson about life.
Eating? Old man eating?
Old man eating teaches you what life's really about.
What is it? About sighing?
You need to savor each moment.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's teaching you.
Okay.
It's teaching you a philosophy. Go ahead, study all the philosophy you want. Old men eating, to a certain lesser extent, old women eating. But old men eating, everything you need to know about life.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, that is our picks. If we remember, we will check back in very briefly and see how we did. If you think we're completely wrong, you should let us know. And again, at the end of the show, we're going to tell you
how to do that. We look forward to your replies to this. That's the only way we're going to get better, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're running much longer than I thought we would run.
Yeah.
So let's quickly do our 2 movie trailer reviews.
Okay.
And then close it out.
All right.
So let's, what are you doing this week?
This week, my movie trailer review is Bless Me Ultima. For the simple reason that I was forced to read this book in grade school, and I hated it. I hated it. I hated it.
Okay, but what about this trailer?
Okay.
What about the movie trailer?
All right, fine. Movie trailer.
Will you see this movie based
I will not
purely
see
on
this.
the trailer?
I will not see this movie based purely on the trailer.
Okay.
It looked exactly like you thought a Bless Me Ultima trailer
should
look.
That's not good.
Yes. It looked like a movie that it will be in limited release. It will be on DVD. It will go out of print. And I say that with no ill will towards the filmmakers, the actors, anybody involved. It didn't necessarily look bad. It just looked like something that nobody's going to see.
Yeah.
And given the fact that I've read the book, Bless Me Ultima, against my will, they will not see it.
Okay. So you're saying no?
I'm saying no.
Saying no.
I'm saying no.
Don't see it. He's not recommending it based purely on the trailer.
Yes, based purely on the trailer. Okay. I am not recommending it. I think it'll be a waste of your time.
You do not bless Ultima.
I do not. I curse Ultima.
I curse Ultima. Okay.
But that's okay, because she didn't bless me.
Strong words, sir.
Strong
words. I am reviewing Inside Llewellyn Davis.
Hold on one second. I would like to state for the record that I am a Puerto Rican young man. Otherwise known as East Coast Mexican.
Okay. You feel like that absolves you from anyone you may have offended?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I'm doing Inside Llewellyn Davis, which is a Coen Brothers new movie.
Oh.
Have you seen that one?
I have not seen that one.
Okay. Overall impression, as usually with the Coen Brothers, is yes, I want to see this. It looks very good.
Right.
It's about like a musician, some stuff. Anyways, it's one of these trailers where like you don't really know what it's about watching it, but the little tidbits that you see, you're like, yes, I like this. What I don't like is them playing a Bob Dylan song over the whole thing. That's where it almost made me say no to this movie.
Which one?
Oh, I wish I could remember.
Oh. But either way, it was.
It doesn't matter. They all sound the same. So it doesn't really matter what Bob Dylan song. The point is that man certainly can write a song, but he most definitely cannot sing one.
Sure.
And should not be allowed to.
I see.
And then they were like, let's take his crappy song, put it over this guy. Now I'm left with a song it's a movie about a folk song singer who's not Bob Dylan. Yet you've played Bob Dylan. Now I'm left thinking, well, I want to see this because of the people in it, and it looks good, and the directors and the writers. John Goodman and I think Garrett Hedlund is like one of the main guys. I know. But it's all good people. It's Coen Brothers.
Yeah, no.
It's like
I don't dislike Garrett Hedlund, but he's not a draw yet.
Yeah. So he's not. No, he's definitely not. But then you play this Bob Dylan song, and I'm like, is his song gonna sound like this Bob Dylan song?
Right. Well,
I don't want to. But then here's where the trailer ultimately makes you say, I have to see this, because it's ingenious. Because it ends, the Bob Dylan song stops, and you're like, thank God. And then he's sitting there, the musician is sitting there talking to like a record guy, and the guy's like, whoa, I heard you had a song you want to play. And he's like, yep. And he's like, well, I don't want to listen to your album. Why don't you play me a song? And the guy's like, okay. And he like gets his guitar out and starts to strum it. Title screen. You don't get to hear 1 second of the song he's going to sing, which is
teasing it.
It's a good tease. It's a really good trailer.
Makes you want to go.
The actual, I give the trailer an A+.
Yeah.
Which makes me say, well, now I've got to go see this movie.
But wait, do you give it an A+, or do you take away some points? Is it just a normal A?
You're right. If it didn't have Bob Dylan,
A+.
But I like not hearing this guy's song. I just don't want to ever hear Bob Dylan.
I understand that, and that's a topic for another day. We will have a music topic where you get to talk about jazz and Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Not that those are two of the same things, but he has very strong opinions on these.
So that's it. Those are quick. I think we'll probably. I just wanted to wrap this up since it's getting long. But anyways, movie trailers. So don't see Bless Me Ultima. Do see Inside Llewellyn Davis.
Yeah, you're not going to listen to us anyway, so who cares?
That's right.
You know, go see Bless Me Ultima. I don't care.
And so next week, as we said, our main topic of discussion is going to be stop motion, specifically Lego stop motion.
Yes, and if you have any questions about that, we will go back through what we've had before. But if you have any new questions or any other questions after listening to this, send them in.
I don't want to make it us just talking about Tex and Diego. I don't want it to be that.
No.
I think that if people want that, we can do that as a special thing.
Yeah.
But I want it to be more about making it and how you do it and how we did it and that kind of stuff and where the state of it is, in our opinion.
Yeah.
But if you do have specific questions, then
I love it.
Certainly, I do too. Certainly send it to us. And so the way to contact us.
Well, there's a few different ways.
Yep.
You can find. You can either go to our Twitters and follow us. I'm not very good at that, but you can go to AustinJD14. That's my Twitter. Yeah.
Okay. Mine is GPL Films.
There you go.
So you can tweet us questions or thoughts. And you know what? I have to say this. I would normally say no matter what you thought, you should let us know. If you hated this, that's fine. I don't need to know. You don't need to listen. I don't need to know.
Yeah, I mean, constructive criticism is always welcome.
Constructive criticism, we would like to get better. We would like to make this entertaining for everyone. However, if you're just going to be like, you guys suck, I don't like you, you're dicks.
Get your bleep counter ready.
Okay.
If you're going to type out, you guys balls, and I think you guys should all go jump off a cliff and get by the devil. Keep that to yourself.
Keep that to yourself. We don't
See, now that was probably just a series of bleeps, which is, I'm hoping, very humorous.
Yeah, you think?
I hope. All right, so again, the way you can contact us.
Yep, the best way to do it, I think we'd like to start a real good community on Facebook.
Yes, definitely.
So that's facebook.com/FITB Podcast. And so that's where I think that's the best place probably to leave comments or info or any kind of feedback you guys have, and we'd love to hear it. Any topic suggestions.
Sure.
All of that. Hopefully some people listen.
Yeah. Also, you can see an enhanced audio version of this on YouTube at our Fill in the Blank Films page, which is FITB Films.
Yep. At youtube.com/FITB Films.
Right, right.
And that's going to be nice because especially for like the Oscar segment, you're going to see the ballots as we're talking about them.
The trailer segments, you actually see the trailers, things like that.
So.
Then, of course, we have our personal Twitters.
You can tweet us questions or comments or anything you want. Mine have Greg at GPL Films.
Right, and I'm AustinJD14. That's my Twitter handle.
And then finally our webpage, which will have links to all of these other things.
Of course.
At fillintheblankfilms with an S on the end.com.
Right. That's it.
That is the show.
That is the end of this week's show. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
We'll be back in 2 weeks, and hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you tell a friend. Hopefully you subscribe.
You know what? Even if you're mad at us right now, we started.
And you know what? If you're mad at us right now, you should be mad at yourself because this has gone on for over an hour and a half, and you've continued to listen.
Yeah, you did.
So think long and hard about that,
and then
just realize that you should just listen again.
Yeah, you might as well.
Because you did it once.
You disagreed with us.
You disagreed, but that's part of the fun.
That's half the fun.
Yeah, it's half the fun is now going to your friend and being like, these two idiots
said this.
Can you believe it? And then he says, I've got to go listen to that too.
Right. That's what we want. We want you to be happy and angry, laugh and cry.
That's right. All right, we'll see you next time.
All right.